Welcome to Dave and Joe Liberty Stand, where we have fun tonight.
Love that.
Yeah!
There's a bowl back there. Did you know that they're riding that bowl?
Say something and go.
Okay. Well, I think we're still discussing some of the abortion topic. Did you have a comment, an audience?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to mention, not even bringing God into the picture, looking at an unborn life. Interesting question you should ask yourself is, if I do abort this child, if I had I not abort the child, how would this child become? And so you think about people like, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, if
How many brilliant people?
Barack Obama.
But yeah, we can only hope with some.
You want to look at the potential value that this person can contribute to society, and if you think about it for a second, how society would be different without these people. Even you can go further back with, Jesus Christ. Even not looking at him as a god, a lot of sociologists will say that he had, in 3 years of his ministry, he changed the world. And so, and since Roe versus Wade, almost 60 million abortions were performed. Of that 60 million, how many of that could have helped society, in a positive way?
But even to think that of you, for instance, you're just as much value than all those other people you mentioned.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr.
Founding fathers.
Yeah.
So every life matters.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think, I see what you're.
Yeah, I believe everybody has.
Yeah.
It's valuable. I'm just saying, just on the magnitude.
Well, even we got on that topic of disabled children.
Yeah.
And now, because of science and technology, they can say, they can say it, because I've heard that people say, well, your child's going to have Down syndrome, so you should abort it. And people who don't care, who believe that child, no matter what, however they're born, their life is worth something.
I got a statistic for you about Down syndrome children. Mm-hmm. How many do you think are born that are conceived? 10%.
Oh, you mean and the rest are aborted, you mean?
Yes.
But if you
90%
if you've ever met a child that
you can look it up.
a Down syndrome child adds so much value to life. I think. What are you saying?
But that doesn't surprise
so
me.
much love.
Yeah,
and
their love is unconditional.
That is.
It's like having a puppy.
But it doesn't surprise me.
Right? No, I'm just teasing.
And you learn so much more from them.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we live in this. When you talk about like the guest earlier was talking about Darwinism and the survival of the fittest, we should take care of those who can't help themselves. We, as a human race, we should care for others who can't care for themselves.
The way it used to be.
And they show us much more than we do them.
I was.
Yeah.
Hang on. Jeff was trying to get in.
There was a country music star, I cannot tell you his name, and his child was born special needs. Mm-hmm. And they asked him what it was like to have a special needs child. He says it's like you were planning to take a trip to France, and you studied and you did all of this and got everything, and you get on the plane and you land in Spain. Now, do you cease to exist? No. Is it more of a challenge? Yes. And he says, it is. It's one of those things. It's maybe a little bit more of a challenge. But he says, I'm still in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm still, and he says that's what it's like. But it's all your time, all your life, because they're humans to begin with. They're humanity and they're humans.
If we start to determine who has greater value than someone else based on
it's called eugenics.
An issue. Well, and that's an issue I think in the culture we're in today is, we are kind of going that way.
10%.
We're saying
the fact that 10% of Down syndrome children born in 90 or not
are aborted.
We are in eugenics. We are practicing that.
What do you can you define that?
Eugenics is like what Hitler did in Germany, pretty much.
You're creating the perfect race.
You're trying to create the perfect race. Eugenics,
conform to union.
eugenics was
Okay.
here in the
You
United
got the
States, or wanted
smartest
to be
crowd
here in the
ever.
United
I love it.
States before it actually happened over in Nazi Germany. It was something that they were trying to consider here in the United States, and that was people who were considered dumb or real poverty-stricken. You know, those people are
Or
going to
racists
or black.
racists that
Or
don't-
black.
Yes.
are
Because they're
substandard.
racist. Yeah,
substandard races
right.
and all that.
Right, yeah.
Those people should not have children because they're going to produce retarded children and people like that. So
Yeah.
they're trying to create the super
Control
race,
that.
and they're
yeah.
trying to control population through eugenics. And unfortunately, it happened in that kind of a roundabout way in Nazi Germany with them killing all the Jews.
You're on.
I was speaking to a
This is
man.
Sally.
Thank you.
Samantha.
I was speaking
Sarah.
to a man named Tom,
Go ahead.
and he brought up a good point, and he said, you know, with abortion, that they agreed that women who, you know, have a health risk, either to herself or to the baby, the baby's not going to make it, the woman's not going to make it, one of their lives, you know, are going to be in danger. And should abortion be performed there? I can say that should be left up to the woman and to the father. Like, if the woman's life is going to be in danger, she's going to die, the baby's going to die, I would support that.
You realize that like 99.9% of the time
Exactly.
that's horseshit. That doesn't exist. I mean,
Exactly.
Right.
But, I mean, if it should
Does
happen,
happen once in a while.
exactly, once in a blue moon, it does happen.
Not 60 million times like
that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
What
and-
once in a blue moon, it does happen. I would stand behind that.
but that's in a hospital. That's
Exactly.
Not a Planned Parenthood.
Exactly. They're not going in and
They're not
aborting
going
that
in
baby in a
for that.
clinic. They're doing that in a hospital. I would stand behind that woman and I would support her.
All right.
Yeah, having compassion. I like what we were saying earlier. If a woman goes through that abortion, and obviously many have, I mean, I think my response, I would have compassion for them, and but truth in it too. Truth in, and I think that's where does life begin? Is what and I think science proves where life begins. I mean, thankfully we have that.
Did you guys ever check for me on the suicide rate on the
6 times higher.
6 times higher?
Okay, what was this?
than
What was this? Suicide rate
for women that get abortions versus women that just carry the term.
Oh,
It's
okay.
6 times
gosh.
higher.
6 times
Really?
higher for women
Yeah.
with abortions.
Because truth,
Because, like he was saying, there's no counseling for them after the fact.
yeah.
There's no support. They like done. See ya.
See, that was the thing. That was what our society was before you had Planned
There's no more money.
People
out of
did
it, so
take
they-
care of people.
Yeah.
It's just like we're talking special needs. Okay, you have special needs people. When you got in the bigger cities, they put them in institutions. When you got smaller towns, they just became
Everybody chips
local.
in. Everybody-
Yeah, Joe. That hangs out at the Marathon gas station. He's just him.
Yep.
And when people meet him, if they don't realize the people that are in the town, why is he here? Because the people in his town all said, "We love him, even though he's different."
And
You know?
he is.
Yeah. But and just
I have
like
special
take a look at
needs.
me and Dave. I mean, we're like different as night and day. One's well respected and everything like that. The other one has a YouTube show. So love you, Dave.
No, you're right.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing.
Yep.
When we start throwing babies away, when we start throwing people away,
Yeah.
instead of actually dealing with what comes down the pike. Because when I go to a place, and I won't say my place of business, and I went in, there was an autistic kid. He's 1, 2, 3, 4. There was a piece of equipment that went down. We had to take number 3 out. Totally messed up his world. He would go 1, 2, and then he was lost. And it's simplistic. But if you just take the time. Asperger's syndrome, a nephew. He wanted me to watch the new movie, Red Dawn. I sat down to watch it. He went and did all his other thing. But to his mind, I was watching the movie. All it does is take time. Taking time for people, taking time for children. We can all work this out. We don't need to sit here and just go at it as an anger. You know,
Yeah.
this is what it's coming down to.
Well, I think ultimately too, when you talk about that, it's like we're selfish human beings, and you know that's what we put I put myself first. I mean, as a parent, I think how many mistakes I made with our kids raising them. It's hard work.
Joe, were you late to a lot of things for your kids' events and stuff?
Only when
Only
there's
tonight.
only a traffic jam.
Okay, I was curious.
But
where you're going with that.
you know, I think that's one thing. Our nature, our sinful nature, but there's all this brokenness. You know, I mean, I think like all these children who are being taken, and you know, I don't know. I just keep going back to the compassion for the women in these situations. So I just hope that we all can have that for women who've gone through that.
It comes down to responsibility.
Yeah.
Responsibility. It's not only responsibility for your actions. It's a
Right.
responsibility as a father and a mother
Right.
to be able to, with your children, to teach them the right and wrong. I said earlier,
Right.
how can I teach my boys to be men with integrity if I don't have integrity first?
Right.
If I don't show them the path, how are they going
Well,
to know?
and that's a good point, because it's, you know, as parents, you know, we need to be, as men, I would challenge men to step up and be the men of integrity. That's a good
Yeah.
word. So, you guys thank you.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it in a minute. We'll see everybody here in a few.
All right.